Oh, hello again. This may be another weird video, but some of my weird videos do really well, so embrace the weirdness. As you can see, I'm in a graveyard again. This one is at Brokenborough, so watch out for paranormal occurrences, electronic voice phenomenon, but that's not the aim of this video. In fact, there's some people with horses over the fence there, so the only voices you may hear are theirs. I'll just focus your attention onto the gravestone there by the holly tree. Once you've seen one, you spot them from a mile away because it's a Commonwealth War Graves Commission gravestone, the same as thousands of them in neat lines in the war cemeteries across the world. So places in Normandy and the Somme and that. I've only been to the one in Arnhem, which is quite sobering. I think it was only about 22 when I went there, and most of the people in the graves were younger than I was at the time. Now, I've been coming here about 26 years, this churchyard, and I noticed Private Clark, Devonshire Regiment, 10th of November 1918. I thought, how sad, the day before Armistice Day. Obviously he wasn't killed abroad, otherwise he'd be buried abroad, so he may have been injured and brought back and died in hospital. He may have died of an accident or even natural causes. I'm sure with the information there you'd be able to find out these days on the computer. But that's not the aim of this video. That there is the aim of the video. There's been a stone placed on it. Now, I don't know when that happened. It could have been a few days ago. It could have been years ago. It could have been there for nearly 100 years. I don't know. But it started me. I remembered when I visited Tolpuddle and visited the grave of one of the martyrs there, James Hammett, I think his name was. There was a load of stones piled on his gravestone as well, which I think I remarked about in the video. So it got me wondering, and I thought I better do some research, which in my case means going on Google and YouTube. And I soon found out that it's a Jewish tradition to started off like thousands of years ago. When people didn't have headstones, the mourners would bring a stone in and place it on the grave just to mark the grave. And fast forward to the present day, they continue it but with a small pebble on the gravestone. Usually Jewish graves. Obviously James Hammett wasn't Jewish, he was a Methodist. And Private Clark there wasn't Jewish either, otherwise he'd have a Star of David on his gravestone. There's quite a few of them in Arnhem Cemetery. So, why did they do it? Well, as I said, it started off years ago, and it's fast forwarded to today, and they leave a stone because they feel that flowers are temporary, and as a stone is permanent and reminds them of the immortal soul of the departed. But also, there's a deeper meaning sometimes. By leaving a stone, they forge or reaffirm a bond with the deceased person. So there's a bond between the deceased and the living, which I think is quite good. I can't see any harm in it as it falls off and gets caught in a mower. Flowers versus stones. As I said, you don't know when a stone's been left there. It could have been there 100 years. Whereas with flowers, even if they're dead and dying, you know that somebody's been to that grave recently. So, which made me think, do we leave flowers for other people? Or is it for ourselves? It's definitely not for the dead. They neither know nor care. And even if we have immortal souls, I hope we've got something better to do than hang around the churchyard, waiting to see if somebody puts flowers down your grave, and then critiquing their flower arranging skills. That's immensely tedious, I would think. So is it for me? Is it for the living? Do we put flowers down, make us feel warm and fuzzy inside? No. I sometimes get a feeling of satisfaction if I've made them look good, but that's something different. So is it a sense of duty? For me it is, I think. I think I have a duty to look after these graves because nobody else will. But it's not a duty anybody's given me. Nobody would know or care if I didn't do it. And if I suddenly stop doing it, nobody's going to reprimand me. So it's not that. So is it for other people? If I put flowers down these graves and nobody comes and look at them, does it matter? Not really. I think putting flowers on the graves is a mark, a sign, a declaration that these people are still remembered, still thought of, and still loved. Military helicopter. So, for me, I think it's flowers. Although, having said that, were I to suddenly be able to see into the future, and I saw somebody leaving a pretty pebble on my gravestone, I'd be dead chuffed. At the moment, once I'm dead, I no longer know nor care. Confusing, isn't it? Complicated things on us as humans. Anyway, I've talked enough rubbish. Give you time to think about what I've said. Maybe I have to watch this video again to leave a comment, which would make me doubly happy because I love the comments, and it would increase my views. It's a honeysuckle. Anyway, I'll leave you with the last line of a poem by Philip Larkin, which struck a chord with me. It's been turned into like a little prayer. Let what remain of us be love. Amen.